I never thought my own blood would betray me. But then again, darkness often comes from places you least expect. It's a chilling realization, one that gnaws at the edges of my sanity, reminding me of the fragility of trust. It all started with a meal, something so simple, so ordinary. I came home late that night, exhausted from work, my mind heavy with the day's burdens. The familiar scent of rice wafted through the air, comforting and warm as I stepped into our modest apartment. Ayla, my sister, had already set the table, the steaming plate of rice a beacon of home. Yet, as I crossed the threshold, I noticed her standing in the doorway, watching me with an intensity that sent a shiver down my spine. Her fingers twitched at her sides, and her lips curled into a semblance of a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. It was a look I had seen before, but never directed at me. I should have sensed the storm brewing beneath her calm surface, but exhaustion clouded my judgment. I sat down, the clatter of utensils breaking the chances. I took the first bite, the grains warm and fluffy against my tongue. But the moment it hit my palate, something felt off. It was as though the air around me thickened, wrapping around me like a shroud. The sound of my own chewing echoed unnaturally loud in my ears, drowning out the usual comforting hum of home. My stomach twisted, a cold sensation creeping through my veins, and I swallowed hard, trying to shake off the unease. Ayla remained silent, her gaze fixed on me, unwavering and unsettling. Then, without a word, she turned and walked away, leaving me alone with my unease. That night, sleep eluded me. The shadows in my room seemed to stretch and twist, creeping closer, as if they had a life of their own. I lay there, heart racing, feeling an unseen presence lurking in the corners. Then, I heard it, a whisper, faint at first, like a breath against my ear, chilling me to the bone. "Don't sleep. Don't close your eyes." My heart pounded in my chest, and I shot up, my reflection in the mirror across the room catching my attention. It wasn't right. The eyes staring back at me were wide and unblinking, a smile curling on lips that weren't moving on my face. A stranger stared back, and I felt my sanity begin to fray. The following days blurred into a haze of dread. Every attempt to eat felt like a battle, a sensation of something crawling down my throat, stopping me from swallowing. Even water turned bitter in my mouth, and I could feel my body growing weaker, my ribs beginning to show beneath my skin. The whispers grew louder, calling my name, laughing softly in the silence, taunting me with the knowledge that I was doomed. I knew then that I was cursed. Desperation drove me to Imam Sa'ad, a man known for breaking dark magic. The moment he laid eyes on me, his frown deepened, and his expression turned grave. "You have been hexed," he said, his voice heavy with the weight of his words, "by someone close to you." The blade of realization cut deep, and my mind immediately drifted to Ayla. I didn't want to believe it. The thought was too monstrous, too painful. Yet the signs were there, the strange looks, the eerie silence, the way she never met my eyes. Why? Why would she do this to me? My voice quivered, a mix of fear and betrayal. The Imam sighed, running his fingers through his beard, his expression somber. Jealousy, hatred, or revenge. The reasons for black magic are always rooted in darkness. Do you have any idea why she would want to harm you? As the pieces fell into place, I understood. Ayla had always resented me, a truth I had been blind to. After our parents passed away, I had taken on the role of protector, making decisions, handling finances, ensuring our survival. In my mind, I was safeguarding her. In hers, I was keeping her caged. Perhaps in her twisted sense of justice, this was her way of reclaiming power. "Can it be undone?" I whispered, the weight of despair heavy on my chest. He nodded and prepared a bowl of blessed water, murmuring prayers over it. "Drink this. It will fight the evil within you." I hesitated, fear gnawing at me. After all, it was a bite that had cursed me. What if another sip sealed my fate? But I had no choice. I lifted the bowl to my lips, the cool water glistening like hope, and drank. The moment the water touched my tongue, I felt something shift inside me. A pressure, like unseen chains around my soul, snapped. I gasped, falling to my knees, my breath ragged as the whispers faded, the shadows recoiling. For the first time in days, I felt free. But freedom came with a price. The truth. I confronted Ayla, and she didn't deny it. There was no remorse in her eyes, no plea for forgiveness. She regarded me with that same eerie smirk, a mask of indifference, before she turned and walked away. I never saw her again after that. Now, I am cautious. I don't eat food from unknown hands, and I steer clear of places where shadows linger too long. Every night before I sleep, I check my reflection, just to be sure it's really mine. But sometimes, when the night is too quiet, when the wind whispers through the cracks in the walls, I hear it again. That voice, echoing in the darkness. You may have escaped once, but I'm always watching. The betrayal of blood runs deep, and the darkness lingers, reminding me that trust, once shattered, can never be fully restored.